Alright, welcome to the second winter storm video journal of the Feb25 chain. I have officially come up with a pretty good name for the chain. I'm calling it the Feb25 chain, because they're all happening in February of 2025. Currently 3:47. I started recording at 3:46. I fixed the time on the camera, so I'll be able to put timestamps in the video a lot more easily now that the timing is actually correct. Because it was off by a couple minutes and still not corrected for daylight savings. And we now have our second winter storm on the way tonight into tomorrow. As you can see, we have 80% chance of heavy snow. That's going to be occurring later tonight. And the winter storm warnings have already been issued. So, remembering how Winter Storm Freya, which happened a couple of days ago, was kind of a joke, this one's looking to be more serious. We are looking at snow accumulations, potentially up to 8, maybe 10 inches. Alright. It says heavy snow expected, widespread snow total accumulations. Not really focusing on that pretty well. Widespread snow accumulations between 5 and 9 inches. Highest amounts across northern Massachusetts, where there's a low probability of 10 to 12 inches. So, lots of snow from 7 p.m. this evening to 1 p.m. Sunday. Travel will be very difficult. Heaviest snow is going to be falling late tonight into the very early morning hours tomorrow. And there may be mixing along the Cape and Islands, but that's just it. That's just about it. Everywhere else it's going to be all snow, and let's go through the timeline here just to see what we're dealing with. Right now, currently 34, cloudy. Let's proceed. Once we get to 9, 10 p.m., that's when the snow starts. Then we see heavy snow. Continuing on, heavy snow going into the a.m. hours. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., continuing to be heavy. 3 a.m., lightens up a little bit, still snowing. 4, 5... By 6, it looks like it will be out of here, but obviously cannot completely trust this app, so we will see how things unfold here. What's very important to note, though, is we are below freezing for the entirety of the winter storm here, so there will be 0 chance of any mixing. And it also seems we have a minimal wind threat, but it looks like there will be a little bit of wind associated with this. However, not strong winds, pretty weak ones as well. So the wind is going to be pretty weak. Not much to worry about. But there will be some heavy snow, and it's going to be interesting. We're going to be seeing pretty good snow totals this time around. So, yeah. This is going to be officially the second winter storm, and it's going to be Winter Storm Garnett. That is with 2 T's. According to the winter storm naming list that I've got. Let me pull that up real quick. 1 second. I've also got this exporting here. This is for Winter Storm Freya, so I'll have that out later today on Saturday. But this video that I'm recording right now, you're not going to be seeing it until probably later in the day on Sunday, maybe even on Monday. And it's going to be for Winter Storm Garnett. Alright, so here is the naming list that I've got here. So the next name is indeed Winter Storm Garnett with 2 T's. Those are in the parentheses, the names that the Weather Channel has issued. The names on the left are names that I came up with myself, which I do not need to use. So ignore those. This right here is the name of the up-and-coming winter storm tonight, Garnett. And if I scroll further down, you can see I am documenting the storms. I'm recording all of their tracks because I'm planning to make an animation for the winter storm season this year. Knowing that, you know, it's already become quite historic, especially with Winter Storm Enzo hitting the Gulf Coast. I still have to do that one, and I still have to do the first 2, but I've got Core and Demi done. Still got the tracks there, but still got more to do. But that's besides the point. We are now looking at Winter Storm Garnett. The warnings have been issued. My weather radio hasn't sounded though, because, I don't know, something to do with the station here. Let me just turn this on real quick.
Is 2 to 3 feet. Snow likely in the morning with visibility 1 nautical mile or less.
Clear signal.
Northwest winds 5 to 10 knots.
So it's just something to do with the actual transmitter that's the problem, because I'm getting perfectly clear signal here. Nothing wrong with that. Now let me go out to the rest of the apartment. So knowing that we are now expecting Winter Storm Garnett tonight, with up to 10 inches of snow. You can see the grounds are pretty clear right now. Just not really anything left over from Freya just 2 days ago because we had back-end rain from that system. Let me go to the other window set, in the living room. So out here, you can see there's still a little bit of snow down there, but really not that much. On the back side of Freya, we had rain and a lot of mixing, so any snow that did accumulate melted away pretty much instantly. Not to mention, after Freya had moved out, it remained warm overnight into yesterday, actually, so it stayed above freezing for a good stretch of time after the storm had hit, and most of the snow was able to melt as a result. But of course, there's not nothing left over. There's still just a tiny bit of snow down there. And we're now going to be piling a lot more on top of that. Let me actually open this up to, I'm probably going to be leaving these open because I'm going to be recording out these windows later tonight when the snow is actually falling. Right now we are several hours out ahead of the storm, so not arrived yet, but it's coming. It's on its way. This is the second winter storm of I don't even know how many, because the models keep saying we are going to have many, many more storms to come after this. One is down, the second is currently on its way, and then there's going to be at least a few more following that into President's Day weekend, and there is potentially going to be a very severe one over President's Day weekend. Keeping eyes on that, because the forecasts are going to be changing around, especially as we get closer to the storm. We're going to be trying to nail down what exactly is going to happen with that one, but that one by far looks to be the most extreme of all of them. But right now, the focus is the one that's happening tonight. So that's all I've got for right now. I'll update you later. Alright, it is now 10:16 p.m. and the snow has started falling outside. As you can clearly see there. Right now we've got some pretty light powdery flakes, and there's a little bit of wind to it, but you can see snow is falling on a little bit like a trace on the ground. The storm has moved in. This is just the beginning though. So we just have this light dust to start off with. Seems to be of high density though, which is interesting. Like, the flakes themselves are pretty small, but there's a lot of them, and you can see it's like dust. That's pretty interesting. Let's go out here. And we can see out here. Yeah, we've got the snow covering the ground. It's hard to see with the lights on, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off just by pressing the off button on the hub here, and that is now dimming off. There we go. And now you can see much better outside what's going on. Already a dusting of snow on the ground, and some relatively light snowfall as of right now. definitely think the other window is a better view. But may as well show up this one too. Not gonna be able to get a shot out my bedroom window because I'd also have to turn my lamp off, but yeah, can look at these windows and see what's going on. And well, that's what we're working with right now. Go ahead and zoom in there. On the lights down there, you can definitely see the flakes a lot better when I do that. You can see that they're fine, small flakes. Very light and powdery right now. And as I mentioned, it will be below freezing for the entirety of this winter storm, so when the snow picks up in intensity, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, this is what we've got right now for the beginning of the storm. Just moved in and we are starting out with this rather light powdery snow. So we will see what happens as time progresses. Oh, it's almost 11 now, it's 10:56 and that's how much has fallen so far. That didn't take very long. It's still falling, of course. Go to the other window. Alright. Not very easy to see in the far street light. All the way over there. If I zoom in onto one of the closer by lights, you can definitely see the flakes. Pretty good amount of snow has already fallen, and it's only been like an hour. Not even actually, because snow didn't start until a little bit after 10 p.m. and it's not even 11 yet. Just shy of 11. And we're starting to get into the heavier precipitation. So needless to say, there definitely will be a lot of accumulation if there's already this much on the ground. I guess you can kind of see it in the far street light. It's just, not very easy to. And of course, the zoomed out look. We've got, you can see all the snow. And it looks like it is covering the roads too. That's not good. Thankfully, we do have a plow truck moving through right now. No, wait, that's not a plow truck. I think that might just be road treatment. Little too late, though. However, considering it is below freezing, yeah, road treatment and walkway treatment, very much necessary if we don't want to get snow accumulating on roads and walkways. So, yeah, as I was, when I went to eat earlier, I actually saw people putting salt out. So I figured I'd let you know about that, because we definitely need rock salt and road treatments and stuff like that to avoid hazardous road conditions. And it seems like crews are a little bit behind on that. Or they may have tried but didn't treat every single road, I guess, so I would say they prioritized the more main roads. That's what I'm thinking. As you can see, we currently have snow precipitation intensity currently like moderate to heavy, pretty much right on the line. And it's gonna be getting pretty heavy going forwards. There's the current radar. It's going to be kind of on and off for a bit, but it will be more steady as the night goes on. As you can see, once again, winter storm warning. It's currently 29 degrees, so yeah, this is all going to remain as snow. There will be no mixing at all here. It's going to be all snow. And if I go to the radar real quick, you can see, let me actually zoom out just a bit. Yeah, you can see the outer bands are making their way in, and the more solidified, steady precipitation is a little bit further back to the west, and it's on its way. So we're not really in the center of it yet. But needless to say, already a good amount of snow has fallen. There will be a lot more on the way. The hourly forecast is suggesting heavy snow through 3 in the morning, when it will lessen in intensity. We will see some more lighter on and off snow showers from 3 a.m. through 5 a.m. And then by 6 it should be out of here according to the forecast. And we will be left with a haze. So that's going to be interesting. Well, I will continue to update you all through the storm as it is continuing to go on. Current wind, pretty much negligible, as you can see. 4 miles an hour out of the east. That's, yeah, that's pretty much nothing, so no wind to worry about at the moment. And, as the storm is moving out, we're going to be seeing 10 miles an hour at most for sustained winds and gusts only into the 20s. So, really not much wind to speak of here. So I don't think that wind is going to be a concern at all, really. Just have to watch, you know, what happens with the snow, because there's going to be a pretty good amount of snow out there once all is said and done. Forecasts have said up to 10 inches in places, with a widespread 5 to 8 inches. And here specifically, it is saying we are expecting 7. Could be a little bit more, a little bit less than that. We will see what ends up happening. But that's what it's saying. Now, not that I expect anything will go terribly wrong. I have prepared for the possibility of power outages. There are going to be more storms on the way, so, you know. Yeah. My EcoFlow here, this is all charged. And I've been actually using this daily for charging my phone. It's worked great for that. So yeah, I like it. EcoFlow, you are the best. Alright. Also, power bank here, you know, got that too. UPS. All good. And a new addition to the family down here. We've got this Delta 3 Plus. How is it already down to 98%? I don't know, but we've got the new Delta 3 Plus here. So if there's a prolonged power outage, I have something that can handle running my oil heater and keep the room warm. Because I don't doubt that it's very much possible we could have a winter power outage with the amount of storms that are on the way, especially if some of them end up being particularly intense. So this beautiful unit here will be able to handle any demand I throw at it, because it can do up to 1800 watts continuously. So if I want to plug the microwave into it, I can do that. You know, the microwave food. So, needless to say, I am pretty well prepared. Not to mention this building has a generator, and I've also got a solar panel, 100 watt solar panel over there. So if there's a very long power outage, multiple days, I can recharge my EcoFlows from the sun. I have a whole video on the River 2 Max here and the solar panel. That video did really well. It got 800 plus views. So if you want to check that out and see this EcoFlow and the solar panel in action, I've got that video. You can go look at that. But the focus of this one is Winter Storm Garnett, which is currently bringing lots of snow, and that's what we're dealing with. I'll update you later because I don't have much more to say right now. Currently 11:48 p.m. We have got stuff going on. So, holding consistently with earlier, it is still snowing. Snow is maybe even heavier now compared to earlier. Flakes are falling quite quickly, and the snow is accumulating. And you can see crews have been working on clearing some paths, but the snow is quickly reaccumulated on the areas that have been cleared. Let's go out here. Because this is where things are interesting. We've got people in the apartment across from ours, 4th floor. They got the speaker going out the window, and there's people down on the ground who were throwing snowballs at them. So you can see there are snow marks on the walls. One of them looks like it even hit the window. Yeah. So a little snowball fight broke out between a 4th floor apartment and some people on the ground out there. It's pretty funny. Unfortunately, I missed when the action was actually happening, but, well, snowball fight. And that's what you get with these winter storms. We were just, me and Jonathan were just watching Breaking Bad. And I heard the commotion and was like, what the heck's going on? So, that's what happened. People had a snowball fight. And once again, the snow is continuing to fall. Yeah, you can definitely see the flakes. Definitely becoming more steady, and quite a bit on the ground now, and a lot more to come still, because we've got several more hours of snowfall. Pure snow, no mixing. This definitely is going to be the winter storm with the highest snow totals thus far for this winter storm season. While it may not be the most impactful, because we still have yet to see what I would think will be the more impactful storms with stronger low pressure systems, more winds and freezing rain and stuff like that. This definitely is more impactful than Winter Storm Freya was. Freya was kind of a joke. This, we're actually getting some decent snow totals. Not really any wind associated with it though. It's pretty much just all snow, and that's it. So it's really just going to be about the amount of snow that falls, and that's all there is to it. Good amount has fallen already though, and the intensity definitely has gone up, as you can see. Flakes are becoming bigger now, and the snow is falling quicker. It's already a lot on the ground. Crews have been working to clear out pathways, and snow continues to cover up pathways that were cleared like 2-3 minutes in advance. So that's what we're dealing with right now. I've got to say, things are certainly getting more interesting. Looks like we are getting in a particularly heavy snow band. Flakes are falling fast right now. Visibility quite low. which I'm pretty sure you can tell because, well, it's hard to see the trees way in the back there. Vehicles covered in snow. Definitely multiple inches on the ground at this point. People are throwing snowballs around outside. Messing around and stuff. Because we got a lot of snow falling. And I would like to go ahead and show you the result of that snowball fight that happened out here. Definitely would be better if I turn the lamp off. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm just going to do this, that way I can turn it back on to the mode that I want it to be turned on to. But turning it off right now so you can see outside better. We've got across the way there, look at the snowballs that have hit the side of the building. So, yeah, it looks like 410 was the main target. And there's more activity going on way down there now. A lot of snow on the ground, you can see. Yeah, definitely has accumulated quite a bit already. With more to come, of course, you know. This isn't remotely close to all of it. But yeah. The side of the building's now covered in snowballs. The guys out there who were throwing snowballs around threw a few this direction as well, but obviously since we're on the 5th floor, none of those are actually gonna reach. Let me turn the lamp back on. So yeah, the windows here, the walls up here, no snowballs on them, but I found it pretty funny. The apartment across from us, 410, across one floor down, they got hammered with snowballs. They made some enemies out there for sure. And right now the humidifier currently isn't actively pumping out any mist. Humidity is at a satisfactory level, according to my hub. 36%. Not too bad. But yeah, we getting into the main portion of the snow now, falling rather steadily. I haven't really showed this way yet. You can't really see, but you're further down there, there are more lights. I think the best view we can get is directly out this way. Cause I can zoom in on the street light all the way down there. And you can kind of see the snowflakes falling. Or I could zoom in on the lights down there, which it's actually easier to see the snowflakes by those. So you can see the snow is actively falling. And the snowball fights are starting to take place because we've got a measurable amount of snow on the ground now. But other than that, not much interesting going on. So once again, I'm going to update you later. This snow has been falling steadily now for a bit, and is going to continue to do so for the next few hours. So, I'll update you a little bit later when something interesting does happen, or something else interesting, because, well, that snowball fight was pretty interesting. But anyways, that is it for right now. I'm not gonna stand here and watch the snow for hours on end, so, and I'm pretty sure you probably won't be doing that either, or wouldn't want to, so yeah, I'll just update you later. whenever something else interesting happens, or whenever I just feel like making another update. 12:33 a.m. and I don't know if you can tell with the light down there. The amount of snow is pretty thick now. A lot of snow has accumulated. Let me go to a different window where there isn't any interference from the lamp. Hopefully I'll be able to show just how much snow has accumulated. 'Cause, spots where the snow hasn't been cleared out, it's pretty thick. Yeah, you can kind of see it on the recycling bins in the dumpster down there. Pretty good amount of snow has fallen. Definitely 3+ inches, might even be more than that. I'm not going to go outside and measure right now because, well, I don't want to go out there while the snow's actively falling. Last time I did that during Winter Storm Demi, you know, bringing pizza back from Kingston Pizza, and, well, that was a mistake. You know, I had snow all over my umbrella and all over the pizza box, and walking around was pretty hectic. You know, I was sliding around places. The snow was not easy to walk through. So just have to judge based on what it looks like. And it looks like multiple inches have fallen so far. And totals are continuing to rack up as the snow continues to fall steadily and decently heavily. Alright, this is going to be a little bit of a random interjection here, but just learned something very important. If you happen to be in the middle of a power outage during a very major storm and you could be without power for multiple days, I have just learned something very important involving radios and power stations. So let me go ahead and get my radio turned on here. First I'm going to extend the antenna, of course. So let me go ahead and do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my radio on and have it set to an AM station right now that kind of gets picked up here. Oops. That's... Alright, let's go back to 1090. That's what was getting picked up. Yeah, that's kind of coming through. Now watch what happens when I hold it near one of my eco flows. We get interference. The inverter isn't even turned on, by the way. Watch what happens when I turn the inverter on. See even more noise there. So if you're going to try to listen to AM radio in the middle of a blackout, keep your radio away from the power station you're using, if you have a power station. Because apparently it will cause interference. So, yeah, that bit of a random interjection there, but I thought it was a pretty interesting discovery, so yeah. Definitely worth noting, and I'm going to keep that in mind for the future to keep my radio a good distance away from my eco flows if I'm going to try and listen to AM radio when there's a major power outage. Alright, so it's now 1:18 a.m. and as you can see, as of now, it says snow getting lighter, which means we're probably past the peak now, or within the peak, but I would say we're just about getting past the peak. If we go ahead and zoom out here on the radar, definitely looks like the heaviest is in the process of moving through and out into the Atlantic. And the precipitation chart is saying heavy right now, and it's going to be like kind of bumpy here. And eventually it's going to be getting down to some lighter stuff. And there's still going to be some light snow through 5 to 6 a.m. But I think we have made it beyond the heaviest as of right now. 529 yards visibility. So, very low visibility out there, as I have said earlier. When there's a lot of snow falling like this, it gets very hard to see, especially at night. Let me see if the visibility is worse in my hometown. About the same, actually. 554. Slightly worse here, actually. We've already seen 3.65 inches of snow, and 2.3 inches more on top of that expected. That'll get close to 6 inches. We might get a little bit more than that, but yeah, we probably have seen more than 3.65 inches. Because as I mentioned, you know, it's below freezing for the entirety of the storm. For some reason it's really warm in here. I don't know why that is. The heater's not even on. But as I mentioned, it's below freezing for the entire storm, so pretty much every flake of the snow is going to be accumulating. Unless there's something that actively is going to melt the snow, like heated or treated surfaces. And we do have crews continually clearing out roadways and walkways, but the snow, as it continues to fall, is going to reaccumulate on whatever gets cleared out. Because it's below freezing, so just about 100% of the snow that falls out of the sky is going to be accumulating. And that is what we have seen so far, because you can see if I zoom into some stuff there in the distance, a pretty thick amount of snow is on those things. You can also see the flakes still actively falling. And crews currently working to clear some pathways. See a plow truck going right there. It's kind of like a mini truck, but it is plowing snow out of the way, and they're going to have to continue doing that all through the night, because the snow is expected to continue to fall pretty much all night. So that's what's going on. The trees are very whitened with snow, and snow is pretty light and powdery because it's, you know, entirely below freezing for the whole duration of the storm. So yeah, when it's below freezing for the entirety of a winter storm like this, when we're getting lots of snow, that's just what you should expect. All of the snow that falls, pretty much, is going to accumulate, because there's nothing that's going to contribute to actively melting the snow. They are up at the door now. They were just at the besides Garrahy, all the way back there a few seconds ago. Then I walk over here and they are at the door of our building. Looks like an apartment down there also has a window fan going now. I mean, it does get kind of hot because the fan coil units aren't really great, but looks like they set up a window fan in one of their windows there. Probably just get some air circulation, cool it down in there a little bit. And you can see with the snow being cleared off the walkways, some pretty deep snow there. You can see it based on where this plow truck is clearing it. And it's not even getting 100% of the snow out of the way. There's still a little thin trace being left behind. But to the sides, you can see it's a lot more. That's how much snow has already fallen, and there's still plenty more expected. So yeah, since it's below freezing, it's all going to accumulate, and it's not going to care what's going on. With whatever surface it's accumulating on, it's going to happen because everything's below freezing. Which means, unless there's an active heat source somewhere, the snow will not melt. That's just how it is. So the snow is going to continue to accumulate. There's not really going to be anything that's going to stop that from happening. And the only thing that we can do to clear snow off of things is to push it out of the way, which is what plow trucks are doing right now. But that's where we are right now. I'd say close to 4 inches maybe has fallen. Can't really go or make a solid judgment of that without actually physically going outside and sticking something into the snow to measure it, like, you know, a ruler or a measuring tape or something. I don't feel like doing that right now. I might do that when the storm has moved out, just to see how much has fallen. But for right now, I don't intend on doing that, because, well, I don't want to go out and actively falling snow and have to trudge through snow that is continuing to accumulate on the walkways. That just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. But it's going to continue to fall through the rest of the night, through 6 a.m. at the very latest. And that's what we're dealing with right now with Winter Storm Garnett. Definitely the highest snow total out of a single storm by far for this winter storm season. And I'm pretty pleased with it. Like, it was a relatively calm storm, just a bunch of snow falling, nothing more than that. That is definitely my kind of winter storm, to have a bunch of snow with no other threats with it. That way we get a winter that looks like winter, with snow on the ground. Because, well, if we factor in strong winds, then a lot of damage would be occurring, and we don't want that, obviously. And I'd also be possibly sitting in the dark if there are strong winds with this, because especially when the heavy, wet snow is involved with strong winds, then that's going to cause numerous power outages and a lot of damage. And for coastal communities, that can also contribute to coastal flooding concerns if the winds are coming out of the right direction. So yeah, I'm glad that it's exclusively just powdery snow and nothing else. It's a pretty good calm storm, and I'm not going to have to, you know, sit in the dark and have to use my EcoFlows to power stuff. And I don't know if it's going to be sunny out tomorrow, so, you know, I won't have to take a gamble on what the weather conditions are going to be like once the storm has moved out to attempt to get solar power. Because it's a pretty calm storm, so yeah, that's all I got for right now. Don't want to bore you too much. You know, it's kind of just like an update of how much snow has fallen and why it's continuing to accumulate. But that's really it. So I'll update you later. Yeah, real quickly, just one more thing. I decided to swap out the battery in this thing. I'm now charging the battery that was in my camera because it was running very low. And probably got power going to that. It's going to go to both batteries for a second because that's just how this charger works. But I'm just charging my batteries up, you know. I got to keep the batteries charged. That way, you know, I've got a charged battery for when I got to record something on the fly. I don't have to, you know, pop the battery out, plug it in, and then wait for that to charge before I can use my camera again. And that's why I think it's a really nice thing to have multiple camera batteries. So if one of the batteries is running low or dies on you, you can just swap it out for another one, plug that one in, and you're good to go. Alright, it's now 2:37 a.m. and it looks like the majority of the storm has now moved out. We are just going to be seeing some lighter snow from now on. It says moderate right now, and then it will be stopping in 54 minutes. So we're going to see some light to moderate snow continuing throughout the rest of the night. And it's going to be going towards some more on and off snow showers later on, and should be all wrapped up by 6 a.m. What the heck? Okay, what is this at 8 a.m.? What is going on here? Gonna be more back-end snow potentially. I've already seen a lot of snowfall so far. 5.9 inches in the last 6 hours, and another 1.05 inches expected, which will total very close to 7. Let's go take a look outside. Obviously, forecasts will not be 100% correct. So that's probably why there's now all of a sudden more back-end snow popping up at 8 in the morning when the storm is well out of here. Let's see if I zoom in on the street light. We're not seeing very heavy snow anymore. It's a lot lighter now. There's still flakes flying, it's just that they're a lot smaller and less, there's less of them now. However, we've already got a lot on the ground, as you can see out there. That is quite a lot of snow. Yeah, it definitely is 5+ inches. Alright, let's go look out the living room windows. The lamp is set to turn off at 1:30 a.m. on the weekends, so that automation is triggered by now, so I don't have to turn it off myself or worry about turning it back on. This is what we're looking at down there. And you can see the immense change in snow depth between where crews have been actively clearing pathways and where they haven't been doing so. And even where they have been doing so, there is still a layer of snow covering the paths that they've cleared. And hopefully you can see the light over there. Got it like right in the center. That light's got a good amount of snow on top of it. The benches, they don't have a lot on top of them, but elsewhere we can see quite a bit of snow depth. Obviously, there has been more before, since it's New England, we have seen several feet of snow in past years when we had genuine winters in the past. And this is pretty much the first genuine winter of the 2020s, except for 2021. That one was kind of an exception because we had a few good storms that year. And of course there was also Keenan in 2022, so there was that too, but other than that, this is a first for the 2020s, where we've had multiple decent winter storms now. This one definitely being the highest in snow totals so far, surpassing Winter Storm Demi, which I believe ended up being between 4 to 5 inches by the end. And this is expected to be around 7 to 8 inches once it's all said and done. So yeah, Winter Storm Garnett taking the crown for #1 in snow totals. That's not to say there won't be a bigger storm later on, because the potential is definitely there for that. We have plenty of more winter storms on the way for the Feb25 chain. This is just the second winter storm of many. We are gonna have to watch closely for Tuesday into Wednesday, because it looks like forecasts have shown that one moving far south enough that it might actually miss New England, but we gotta see what comes out of that, because at most it looks like all we're gonna be seeing is just some light snow showers on the very northern extent of that system. It looks like that has shifted to be completely out of line with New England. And the next actual winter storm that's going to be hitting the region is going to be happening on Thursday. And then there's going to be another major storm that's going to happen on President's Day weekend, and that one I'm quite concerned for, and well, my EcoFlows will be ready for that. That's all I'm going to say right now. And even beyond that, there's potential for even more storms. You know, it just keeps going on. And weather models have been holding the line with this kind of pattern, so yeah, looks like we are kind of getting a little bit of a throwback to March 2018. You all remember how that was. You know, I've got the whole series of videos on Winter Storm Riley, and I even have another update video 2 storms later after Winter Storm Toby struck and dropped / dumped over a foot of snow. Not even like 2 weeks after Winter Storm Riley. So, I went through literal hell that year. Many, many major winter storms. And, well, basically to sum up what happened with the 2018 winter storm, you know, winter storm group. There was Winter Storm Grayson, which happened all the way back in January 4th, 2018. And that really set the standard for how the rest of the season was going to go, because we had some very major coastal flooding, and Winter Storm Grayson managed to break a 40-year standing record set by the blizzard of 1978, causing a storm surge of over 15 feet. And that easily would have been the defining factor of how the rest of the winter storm season would go. Because not even 2 months later, Winter Storm Riley came, did a very similar thing, didn't quite break the record. In fact, it ended up getting a square 3rd place on the leaderboard. But Winter Storm Riley brought that same damaging amount of winds and coastal flooding potential, and while Grayson definitely had more snow involved, Winter Storm Riley definitely had more powerful winds. Even though the low center wasn't quite as intense, it actually developed over the continental US and moved straight to the east offshore, and then dipped south once it made it out into the Atlantic. So New England got battered with some very strong winds, and long story short, I spent 2.5 days in the dark again, because that has happened before, you know, with other winter storms that I've got not really documented, actually. You know, I didn't have my channel back in 2013 when Nemo happened, but yeah, there was Winter Storm Riley, that happened, and then we get 3 more nor'easters following that, and one of those, I lost power again, but thankfully only for 1 day. And what was more of an impact compared to that was just how much snow had fallen, because that dumped over a foot of snow, as I mentioned. So yeah, I got power back relatively early after that winter storm, because the rest of my town was still out. You can see that in the video if you want to go check that out. I'll iCard that right now, actually. But yeah, that's a basic rundown of what happened in 2018. And looks like we may have a pattern kind of similar to that. Although it's happening in February and not March. And it doesn't seem like we're getting very strong storms. Like, these are pretty weak. Like, Winter Storm Freya was barely anything to note. And Winter Storm Garnett here is just snow. There's no wind to speak of. It's just a bunch of snow. That's it. But the storms coming up, they might be more interesting, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. Anyways, that's enough rambling about what happened 7 years ago, and I'll update you later. Okay, it's almost 4 AM at this point. The exact time is 3:48, and the storm is winding down pretty much. We currently just have some light snow showers. We are now at the on and off period. Really not much more going on now. Most of the accumulations have happened, and now we're gonna just be seeing back end showers, which are gonna be on and off through apparently all the way up to 8 in the morning. Might be very far behind the trailing snow shower, but other than that, we have picked up most of the snow at this point. Currently totaling 6.7 inches according to the app. So take a look out the windows. And then maybe in the morning I can actually physically go outside and measure the total myself. because you can't trust the numbers that the weather service is reporting to you. Not sure if you can see that, but still have some very small, light flakes flying. Very light snow falling. But most of it is already on the ground, as you can see. And it's piled pretty high in some spots. We got a good amount of snow this time around. Don't worry about it being dark. It's there's no power outage. Don't worry about that. Power never went out, of course, because it's exclusively snow. There's no wind or anything, so no reason for there to be any sort of power outage. We're used to dealing with snow up here. It happens all the time. It's not going to cause things to go wrong or the end of the world or anything like that. And we got a lot on the ground. It was a pretty hefty amount of snow with this storm. Not crazy high, like, you know, we didn't get a foot plus, but several inches of snow fell, so yeah, it's a decent storm here. Actually had some pretty decent snow trolls this time, better than what we had with Demi. So, yeah. It's pretty much wrapped up now. We're just gonna have some light on and off snow showers for the next few hours, and that's pretty much it. This is just about what the final result is gonna be. 90% of the snow has fallen at this point. And it's dark, but you can kind of still see the result of the snowball fight that broke out earlier. There is snow on the windows of apartment 410. The apartment across the way there. It was pretty funny what happened, you know, people just started throwing snowballs at those windows up there. And I got a good laugh out of it. But direct your attention up to the roofs of the buildings here. You can even see the snow on the rooftops. And anything that's on the roof as well. Which, I know I'm on the 5th floor, but I'm still below the roof line. Being able to see the snow from below the roof line means there's a pretty good amount of snow that fell. Let's see, indoor conditions, not looking too bad. We got 34% relative humidity, 74 degrees in here. A little on the warm side, but humidity's alright. I mean, for being below freezing for the entirety of the storm. Humidifier is not currently in standard operation mode. It's on auto standby mode. And it's waiting for the hub to signal it to go back into manual mode, which will happen when it gets to 30% or less relative humidity. This is how an incandescent nightlight looks at night, because this is the only light that we've got. It's just night lights right now, because everything else is turned off because it's the middle of the night. But I don't have anything else to say right now. It's pretty much what we've got from this storm. I'm not expecting much more, especially in the way of snow, because as I mentioned, it's just going to be very light and on and off snow showers from this point forwards. And when we get to the sun being up, it's over. It's all over, and I can go outside and actually see how much snow has accumulated for myself. Let me see actually if the sun's even going to be out, because I actually don't know if it will be. And surprise, surprise, the answer is no. It's going to be all clouds until the sun's going down. Although usually this app overdoes it with how much cloud cover there's going to be, so there's a chance it might not be completely overcast like it says it will be, but then again, it would make sense if it is, because it is following a winter storm. But anyways, it's almost 4 in the morning, and that's all I've got for right now. That's pretty much the entirety of the storm. It's just going to be light, sporadic snow showers for the rest of the night, and I know that's not going to be very interesting, so I really have nothing else to show you until we get to the morning hours and the sun is up and I can go outside and actually measure how much snow fell. You know, I can take my measuring tape out and stick this in the snow. Hopefully that will work. I don't know if it will, but if not, I can just, you know, measure right next to a snow pile instead, and we can see how much snow has fallen. But that's it for right now. I will see you in the morning. Alright. And outside. Wow. Alright. So I'm outside now. And it actually is overcast. The weather actually wasn't lying about that. Anyways, outside. Got my measuring tape with me. Let's go ahead and find a decent spot where I can measure the snow. Let's see how much has fallen. It looks to be like 7 to 8 inches. It's quite a bit of snow. It's like right here. Somewhere between 7 and 8. I'm holding it kind of upside down, but that's how much fell. Decent amount of snow. Basketball court's entirely covered this time. Look at the tops of the lights. Kinda got some icicles forming a little bit. It is 33, 34 degrees, so a tiny bit of melting may occur, but really not much in the grand scheme of things. We've got this much snow. I don't think there's gonna be really much melting occurring. Once again, the tops of the lights. The trees. Got just a whole bunch of snow. Crews were up all night clearing the paths. So, you know, we've got places to walk and people can drive. But a lot of snow has fallen. There's supposed to be a tree stump right there. You can see a little extra amount of snow, and you cannot see the tree stump.
Change password.
Right. Look at that. This thing right here, giant pile of snow on top of it. I can't tell what that is supposed to look like underneath. We've got a giant mound of snow here. It's kind of like, it looks like half of my height, because, well, they have to clear a lot off the walkways, and the roads. So there's gonna be some pretty high snow piles. That one looks even taller by this sign here that they took off of the crosswalk. It's gonna go across. Quite a sight. Gotta give it to Mother Nature here. And of course, these fins as well. Yeah, pretty tall snow mounds right to the sides of any roads or sidewalks. And in general, it's just a pretty hefty amount of snow after this one. Winter Storm Garnett taking the #1 spot this winter storm season. Looks beautiful. Snow on top of all of these lights here. On top of look how much is on top of this wall thing. We got problems. Giant puddle.
Who are your new people? Oh, they took Carbone. They just can't move down.
Not by that fence. Another massive snow pile here. This one's huge. See the stick there? That one is completely buried. And this is just like an entire field of snow right here. And this is very much measurable. Like, goes kind of deep. The snow over here is blue because there's probably salt in it. The salt doesn't appear to be doing much. There's a lot of snow. Some falling off the tree here. I have no idea how there are still leaves on this tree. It's February. Those leaves should have been gone by November, arguably. Although, come to think of it, October and November were very warm. So, yeah. However, the leaves should still have disappeared. Well, not disappeared, but like fallen off of the tree months ago. I went around by Eddie last time for Winter Storm Demi. This time I'm going up this way because I gotta get food, so. Tree there. Yeah. This is a sight that screams winter. The final snow tally was 7.5 inches here. Quite a good amount of snow. We've got problems. I'm not gonna be able to get past this. Okay. This isn't good. They gotta fix that. Got salt here. It is barely above freezing right now, and the temperature is going to drop tonight, so most of the snow is staying. Actually, it's going this way. Oh, look at that. See all the trees down that way, all snowed on, white branches. Down this way, pretty much the same thing. Very wintry sight. Of course, yeah, more large, oversized snow piles. On the tops of bushes like this, there's gonna be a lot. And there's gonna be sites like this too, where snow is either pushed or blown against the walls here. Wow. Quite a sight. And that's going to be a problem. Oh, I'll be back in a sec. Once again, just to show you the tops of the lights. It's an impressive sight. I'm gonna go down straight instead of going back that way, because there's a little bit of snow on my way over there. And kind of curious to see what it looks like straight ahead too. So we've got down there. These little bushes. Lots of snow on them too. More evergreens. It looks like they from wintry places. Which, well, this technically is a wintry place. I mean, it's New England, you know. We always have snow like this every year. There've been a few winters where we've had like less snow significantly than average, but usually we do end up with a decent amount of snow each year. This year we're definitely getting closer to that average. There's still more storms in the future that are on their way, and we're going to be seeing what happens with those and whether they'll continue to add on more snow to what we've already got. This is a pretty decent snow total so far. Alright, so I already came this way. I'm just going back the way I came now, so there's nothing really new for you to see anymore. So I think that's gonna be it. This was Winter Storm Garnett. By far the most interesting winter storm of the entire season. Making sure I'm not gonna get run over while I'm crossing it here. 7.5 inches of snow. And messes like this in some spots. Clearing walkways and roads. But that's all I've got. That was the second winter storm of the Feb25 chain. A pure snow event with no other threats on top of it. And there's still plenty more storms to come, so if this wasn't interesting enough, don't worry, there are plenty more opportunities in the near future for bigger, badder storms. And we'll be watching for those, and yeah, more video journals will be on the way with the rest of the winter storms in the chain. Oh god, you gotta be kidding me. They didn't do a great job clearing this out. For some reason, this particular area of the sidewalk is always a bad spot. There, I made it past that. But anyways, without further ado, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.